Hello, hello, hello. I am Lavella. We are continuing our single player Let's Play. This is Minecraft Java Edition 1.16.1. I have been backlogging episodes. I have like two, I think, at this time that are uploaded to my channel. But this is actually episode 26, I think. Like I've explained before, my schedule in the real world, I either have great amounts of free time or I have zero. So it's really difficult for me to take care of the real world and my job and, things that are necessary and then have game time too. So my schedule is sporadic for uploading, and if that is a problem, I am sorry. Uh, Last episode, I died again underground. I didn't rage quit, but I was just tired of losing my stuff because it's like every time I turn around, I was losing my stuff. And I did manage to get that screenshot in at the last second because I knew I was about to die. So I did get back there. I did get my stuff. I did it off camera. And then I started digging. I've done a lot of digging. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So, anyway, I've made a list of to dos. Oh, it's time to sleep already. Thought I just did that. I made a list of to dos because I'm one of those people that I kind of need a checklist or I get bored if I don't have a goal to accomplish. And Minecraft for me has never been race to the end, kill the dragon, get an elytra, blah, blah, blah. I like to build. I like to explore. I like to do all the things that you do to actually play the game. I've never ever been in a hurry to finish the game or anything like that. But at the same time, I tend to have projects bigger than my attention span, and then I get bored and I start a new world. And as you can tell from my channel, I hardly ever really finish a series, which is horrible. And I'm really hoping not to do that this time. I really want to stick with it. Anyway, here's some things I came up with. One thing we need to do are the smelters. Okay, I want to get rid of this. And no, I'm not going to do Cub Fan Super Mega 5,000 automatic smelters, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing that. But I would like to have one that is a smoker for meat. I'd like to have one that's, what's it called, a blast furnace for ores. I'd like to have a couple that are just, for sand or potatoes or whatever. So I do want to get that done. But I kind of want to stick with this wall for that. Except it's going to make it awfully crowded in this area. Plus, if my idea that I'm playing with in my head, I haven't researched it yet. I mentioned this in a previous episode. My idea in my head says that we could put some animals in here, the little one by one, and do the whole entity cramming thing and just funnel it like under this wall so that all the goodies end up inside our storage room for easy access, where they come under this wall and then we have chests in here, and then I can just snag them and throw them in whatever chest over here. That's right now, that's my goal. However, if I heard right, I am pretty sure I heard a hermit make a comment about you have to actually play or kill to get the drops. I don't know if that only applies to aggro now, or if with all the updates and everything, if that also applies to non-aggressive, if it applies to cows and sheep and chickens and pigs and blah blah blah. So I'm gonna have to do some research before we worry about that. So I really don't want to. This space is not ideal for more smelters because, first of all, crowded. Second of all, if I can still use that old entity cramming system, go out there and they bob up in the water, you feed them, they reproduce and then the adults get crushed and come through. If we can still do that, I would like to do that and feed it under here if it's possible. Again, I need to do research. So then tunnel, base, overworld, nether, each biome. Okay. So this one is, I would like to have, I think I've already mentioned that I would like to have an underground hub that will take us by rail. I know ice is faster, and I know, there are other things. No, I like the rails, okay? So I know it's old school, and I know it's not as fast, but anyway, I want to do rails and have a hub underground down here at level 11 that will take us in all the directions, definitely north, south, east, west, and possibly the northwest, southwest, that kind of thing. I also, once we get our nether portal up, I want to do the same thing in the nether and have a hub there. And I'm thinking that we may put the nether portal in that room upstairs. I don't really like to have another portal in the house because I get tired of the noise. But at the same time, if we have our nether portal here, because we are in the world spawn area. So if we have the nether portal here and we have our little hub here, I'm kind of hoping if we have this all in one area that it will all be, basically, I don't know. I just trying to keep it all in one area. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it very well. The nether training. Right now, I think they're called piglins. I'm not up to date on all the terminology, which is a pet peeve of mine because it irritates me when people use wrong terminology. So I'm going to have to get better at that myself. But right now, there's it's basically overpowered where you can do the auto trading with the piglins. I don't know that I'm going to set it up for auto because I'm really not a redstoner. I'm going to have to watch a couple of videos. I've seen the hermits. I think at least half the hermits have set this up in their nether, above the roof in the nether. And they're getting unbelievable amounts of resources. If the redstone is going to take me more than 10 or 15 minutes to figure it out, probably not going to automate it. Probably just capture some and set it up kind of like a villager trading hall kind of thing. And we would actually go there and toss them the gold and see what we get. I know it's not OP that way, blah, 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 but again, I'm not a redstoner and I'm not trying to, I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to find and conquer a bastion, which if you've been watching any Minecraft YouTube, you've probably seen that done 100 times. I haven't done it yet. We haven't even been to the nether yet. And I haven't done it on another world either. So I'd like to do that. Also a fortress. Over the years, yes, I've been to nether fortresses many times and done the exploring and looting the chests and gathering the soul sand and the nether wart and all that good stuff. I've done all that, but again, we haven't done it here. I would like to start focusing on advancements, and I don't mean necessarily every episode from now on we're going to only follow the advancements, but at the same time, I kind of want to keep an eye on them and try to get them done as we play. And we may have an episode or two where we're like, okay, these are easy, let's just get these done. We may do that once in a while, but I don't want to forget them, because when Minecraft first started having achievements, that was a fun thing back in the old days, to ride the pig and to, jump off of the cliff with the pig or whatever and do all the traveling in the mine carts, and I enjoyed that. So I don't want to ignore this because there's so much other stuff between. Minecraft started overloading me with the aquatic update. The aquatic update, there was so much new stuff. It was amazing. We had new blocks. The ocean came alive. Then when they turned around and they brought in the foxes and the berry bushes and all that kind of stuff. And then they turned around and they brought it. Of course, now we have the Nether update, and we have all that new stuff in the Nether. That, yeah, it's just crazy. So I don't want to lose touch with the basics, even with all the wonderful new stuff that we have. I don't want to lose touch with that. I'd like to get a conduit because I do want to do some underwater building at some point. I've always wanted to do, and I don't know that I'll get it done, but one thing I've always wanted to do is a build that was inspired by, not a replica, but inspired by like the Gungan city that's under the water in Star Wars. Anyway, I would like to build underwater at some point. I don't have it on the list, but upgrade and connect villages. We have, and I don't mean over the entire map because that would be infinite pretty much, almost. But I would say probably maybe within 500 blocks of spawn, If we find a village over here, and then there's a village over here, I'd like to connect them and connect them to spawn and connect that one to spawn, so we kind of have a spider web of villages around us. But I'm not talking about one that's 3,000 miles from spawn. I'm not doing that. Animals. We talked about the animals. Need to get animals gathered up, and if it's still possible, I'd like to do the squish them to get the goodies, little farms. Explore and gather missing resources, sapling seeds. We still don't have beetroot seeds, and I used up all my jungle saplings, and I'm not cutting these trees down. I'll show you outside in a minute. I did some landscaping. Wow, this is a really talky episode. We're running out of time. Anyway, I've been underground for a long time, for over a week now, digging a tunnel 6,000 blocks away. I just got on one day and I was watching movies, and I just headed out, and I just kept going until I found a jungle. I dug down and I used my compass and started digging towards home. And it was over 6,000 blocks. And today I finally made it back home. So, yeah, I'm ready to go do some exploring. I'm ready to not be underground. And again, it's time to sleep. Yeah, I almost gave up 2 or 3 times. And it probably wouldn't have taken me over a week in the real world to do that. But I would get home from work and I would just sit down and be watching something before I go to bed. And I'd do a little bit. And then I'd go to bed, whatever, go to work. And then I'd come back and I'd do a little bit. So it's not like I spent 18 hours straight doing it. I just kind of hit and miss. Wool farm. I know we talked about animals up there, but the wool farm, I want sheep of all colors. I really think the redstone is too much of a hassle for me. I know it would be easier just to have it automatically gather it, but I don't need 40 double chests of red wool. Okay? Really don't. I mean, I like to build, but come on, that's a lot of wool for one person. So we're probably 85% chance, probably closer to 100%. We're not going to automate it. We're just going to do a great big old sheep barn and have sheep in every pen of different colors. I've done them before and shown them online on my channel, but it's been years probably. Tree farm. We need to set up a tree farm. Again, not automated. Just an area where I can go and chop whatever I need and then replant it. We already said animals. Seed composter. I tried doing this. I know it can be done because I've seen the hermits do it. Pretty sure Impulse has one. He has it set up to where, you put the seeds in here and it feeds into the composter, and then it comes out as bone meal. Yeah, I obviously didn't do it right. So again, more research needed. I want to get that done because trust me, working this farm out here, I get plenty of seeds and I could use the bone meal. Villagers, breeding and trading. Okay. I would I have always preferred the concept of having a safe area where the villagers can wander around and like be active and like well now with the upgrades or the updates they go to the they have their little gossip session and then they go to their beds and I love that concept and I felt of course I've always loved Cub Fan. He's great. I'm not into the redstone, but he's also a pretty amazing builder and he's quite creative and he's pretty funny. I like him a lot. And one season, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6, but they had Concord, and he and Scar did, and he set up an area, and his villagers were safe, and they were able to wander around. And I just thought that I was like, yes, that's awesome. I love that. But I have tried that on another world, and I get really frustrated trying to track down who I want to trade with. And there's still a thing, I think. I don't think they fixed it yet. Like you can have a villager set, for farming or whatever, and then they see a different workstation and they change their minds and decide, yeah, I think I want to be a librarian or whatever. And I know if you trade with them, it's supposed to lock it in. Anyway, we will probably set up some villages where they can wander freely because I really like that concept. But for trading purposes, we're probably going to set up some kind of a trading hall where if I want Silk Touch, I know I go to this villager and they're going to give me Silk Touch. And I don't have to wander through a whole metropolis of villagers to find him. So we're probably going to do both. We're probably going to have some villages, like these villages that we're going to connect and upgrade. A lot of those will, or most of those will probably be like free range villagers, so to speak. But I want a trading hall also in this area somewhere. Okay, then we have super storage room for all items in game. This little storage area is not even a blip on the radar compared to what I want. I want storage. And I want to be able to have storage for every single item in the game. Whether I'm going to have a whole double chest full of it or not, that's another story. I'm probably not going to have a double chest full of saddles because I'm not going to set up an automated fish farm. And, it would take too long to gather all that. But I want a chest for them. Even if I only have 5 or 6, I still want a chest for them. Anyway, we're talking like 100 by 100 kind of room with chests literally for everything. And of course with this new update, there's even more stuff available. So, Guardians, I have never conquered the Guardians by myself. I would like to do that. Collect the double chest every harvestable item in the game. So basically, potatoes, carrots, terracotta, whatever, anything you can collect. I want a double chest full, minimum double chest full, because some things like cobble, obviously we're gonna have more than double chest, but a minimum double chest of everything in the game that you can harvest. And every color of every item in the game that you can harvest. Collect double chests of every craftable item in the game. Same concept, but this is craftable. Okay, first of all, diamond enchanted gear full set. We need to get that done. I died making that tunnel. I did get my stuff back. What irritated me though was I was at level 48. And right now, we don't have an XP farm. That was painful. Losing 48 levels. Now, when I play on a server and they have an Enderman farm, obviously, XP is disposable. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll just take me 15 minutes to go get it back, if that long. Well, at the stage we are in this world, that's, yeah. So, Diamond Enchanted Gear, full set, and then upgrade it to the netherite. I've heard a lot of the hermits talk about they're not that impressed with the nether. Well, some of them are, some of them aren't, but they're saying, yeah, you get the durability, and yeah, it won't burn in lava, but other than that, it's not like it gives you extra armor, I guess. I don't know. But the fact that you don't lose it in lava, that's enough for me right there. That's enough for me. If I'm not going to lose it in lava, I'm happy. So, yeah, I would like to upgrade everything. After we have it, upgrade it. Nether portal, obviously, nether hub. The dragon, I've never soloed the dragon by myself in a single player world. Would like to do that. The wither, I'll tell you right now, I will probably do it the cheesy way, but I've never done one by myself. Again, would like to do that. I would like to do basic, again, I don't do redstone, but there's simple farms that you can do. Pretty sure they still work. I'd like to do one for spiders, one for skeletons, and one for zombies. And I just remembered, oh, am I out of signs? Thought I had some signs left. I knew this was going to happen. I knew that as soon as I put my stuff up that I was going to think of something else. Okay. Bees. I want to do honey and stuff. And I don't know, this may be ridiculous. Again, I'm not a redstoner. But one thing about doing the spider farms is they crawl up the walls. And I'm wondering if we make the walls, line them with honey blocks, will that help with the spiders climbing the walls? I don't know. I may have to play with that in a creative world and see if that we can make that work. But anyway, these are the to-dos that I have in mind right now at this moment in time. That is enough stuff to probably keep us busy for a year. It is probably going to take a while. Because this tunnel base thing, I want to further explain that. So let's say we're doing our tunnel that way and we come into a swamp biome. I want to have a ladder or a water elevator, whatever, up into that biome and have like a little house. It doesn't have to be big and fancy, just some little house, safe house with a little bit of area for crops, maybe just a little 9x9 with a few of this and a few of that. And a few animals, just a small basic base. And then, we go on further and we run into dark oak and we have a little base there. And then we find a jungle and we have a little base there. And I want that concept done above ground, okay? But in the tunnel itself, I'm thinking we're going to use a lot of stone brick and a lot of dark oak. But when we come to the swamp, we may have like a little water feature with lily pads. And of course the water will be that weird green because we'll be in that biome. And maybe an oak tree with some vines, something decorative for that little area of the tunnel that indicates, oh yeah, we're in the swamp biome. That we don't have to F3 it. We can just walk through and go, oh, well, we're obviously in a dark forest because look at all of the dark forest trees or dark oak trees. So I want to do that. But I also want to do that for the nether. Okay? Like in the nether, when we have a portal. Oh, there's my timer. I've just been talking. When we have a portal that takes us to a jungle, the area around that nether portal, I want it to look like jungle. So anyway, so this is a pretty big project. This is not something that we're just going to go, oh, okay, here's a birch forest. All right, we're just going to throw this together. No, we're going to have to take care of the above ground. We're going to take care of the underground, and we're going to have to take care of the nether. I want all of that. Okay. Let's run up and sleep real quick. I know my timer just went off, and I've been just blah 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 this whole time. I've been waiting so long to record again. Oh my god. But I wanted to show you something besides the basement before we wrap this up. As you can see, I've done some work. We have jungle trees. I moved the bamboo over here. Remember, I was trying to figure out with the farming system we had over there what I wanted to do with it. Well, I just brought it over here as like part of the landscape. I don't need a ton of bamboo. If I need it, I can come over here and go whoop, right through this, and it'll be grown again in what, 15, 20 minutes? So, I still, oh, I forgot to put this on the list. I want to pretty this up. I want some seagrass in here. I want to plant some kelp down there where it's a little deeper. I wouldn't mind transporting some fish, get some salmon and some cod and, maybe some tropical fish and maybe some coral and stuff in here. I want to pretty this up. I don't want to clutter it up, but I want to pretty it up a little bit. I don't think you've seen the final farm, so we'll hit this real quick. Obviously, we have melons, pumpkins. We have carrots, potatoes, wheat, carrots, potatoes, wheat, carrots, potatoes. And then we have our sugar cane, our berry bushes. I moved the cactus in here. Over here we have our cocoa beans. A lot of squid, apparently. Our cocoa beans, and we have our vines. I was thinking about extending this out to cover it, but I think the way I did it, it kind of looks like it belongs, but I really don't think I need to extend that, to enclose it. I think it's fine as it is. So at this time, I'm leaving it alone right there. Later, I may come back and go, what was I thinking? I really need to blah, blah, blah. And there's always room for change. Always room for change. But anyway, I did do a lot of landscaping. We have jungle trees everywhere. And I love, there's a guy that I used to game with all the time. And I miss him terribly. But the vines used to drive him crazy. He's like, oh my gosh, you love your vines. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I know, for aesthetic purposes, I should probably come in here and I should probably chop that up to there and put a piece of string so it doesn't go any further and make it look better. But the fact is, I don't want to. This is my world, and I like the vines. And also, if I'm really needing a lot of vines, maybe I'm doing a lot of mossy cobble or mossy bricks or whatever, and I've ripped through everything over there already. Well, good Lord, I have plenty. I can bring some shears out here and just zip and have all kinds of vines. So, yeah, I'm not going to put string under them. I'm going to just let them go crazy. Also, I need to put this on there too. I want to terraform some of that. I want to landscape it. I want bushes and trees and something besides rock. I want that to look like something. That's our view. And no, I'm not going to do that to every mountain in the game. But this is our area, our spawn, our base, and that's ugly. It just is. So we need to do something with that. And that is not my forte. I am nowhere near Scar's talent or ability. But even with my limited talents, it would be an improvement just to have something, some kind of color, some kind of detail. Yeah, because I really hate it. I think it's horrid and blah, and I don't like it. So anyway, we're going to call that good. I ran over time. I'm sorry about that. I am hoping they've throttled my internet. I told you it's a hotspot. And for a long time, even though I had used up my data, Because the way it works is, let's say your speed is say 100, and then you use up all your data. Well, then they throttle you back to say like 40. Well, for a long time, because of the COVID, they were saying, okay, you used up all your data, but we're going to be nice because the whole world is suffering, and so we're going to let you keep your speeds. And they did, and that was awesome. Well, apparently they've decided the time has passed for that because they throttled the crap out of me. So I can't really upload anything right now, but I can record. So when I do have some speed again, I'll be able to upload several. Anyway, thank you for being so patient with me, and bless your heart if you've made it this far. Thank you for sharing your time, and thank you for watching my video, and we will see you later.